blah, 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 blah. You fucking twat, don't get the me, whatever. Public, when my kid public looking out, publish it, more off stream, details. What up, Jimmy James? Mate, I'm testing a new format, mate, in the shed, or the summer house, as some like to call it. Just give me a little heads up. How's the signal? Because I'm on 4G in the back. So yeah, I'm on my phone through Streamlabs to YouTube. Like, shouldn't be able to stream on this through the phone, but I've managed to figure it out. This is the lockdown format. This is the so I can do book format, mate, and I'm not sat in a bedroom where I can't smoke. That's what it's come down to. Cheers, Jimmy. Nice, signal good. Volume okay. Well, it's on a phone, innit? The speaker should be good, but just let me know if the volume's okay. Just want a little laid back chat, guys. You know, like a little bit of deep talk. I've got a bit of blue cookies, mate, and a bit of I don't even know what the other one is. There's that many names these days. Fucking forget like which one's for which. It's grass. Just smoking grass. I'm not gonna monetize the video anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Darcy B, I wish I could, mate. Yo, Chris, man. Chris, let me try and WhatsApp him. This might mess this up completely, but Chris, live. Chris, I'm live on Love for Media, mate. Get in the chat. Just wrapping a doom in shed. And that stayed on. Mate. So yeah, Streamlabs off my phone. Guys, welcome to Love for Live, baby. Because I love live. I like being live. Live from Android using Streamlabs. It's in the description. Can I get this up as... So I've got the chat on me lap here. Deep talk, guys. Like, anyone wants to chat? Nice blue jeans, mate. Got some Skittles. Nice. Well, I love, that's my favourite, blue cheese or Stardog. So, multiversal theories, deja vu and all that, like my last live stream was about. We could talk about that. We could talk about the soul. How I believe your soul's in multiple pieces and you're just one piece of your soul doing one part of the journey as a whole. Yeah, we could talk about what the hell we're even doing. We could talk about what I've just talked about with an interview with some guy, where it's quite possible we're building immortal bodies because we want to stay in this realm forever, you know, like back from where we actually come from, where the absolute is. If anyone's done DMT and you had a breakthrough, you know where I'm talking about, you know where you actually go after the waiting room. Nothing came through, mate. Love for me. How can you all get on the thing but Chris can't? We're still live here, aren't we? 5 minutes 59. Of course we are. Love for media, Chris. Not love for crypto channel. Now I'm just having a cheeky doob on the Love for Media channel, so we can have a laid back chat. There we go. There we go. So, yeah. Hit the comments. Lee Jenkins, never done it. The one thing I will say, before we carry on, regardless what I say about DMT, do not take my opinions as fact. Don't take them as 100% belief. They're all random theories. I don't know. Call God the absolute and stuff like that. Call it the waiting room and the space between spaces and all this stuff. But no one really knows, and everyone's going to put their own little spin on it. And I've only just realised I've still got that on. That's the annoying heater when I do videos in here. I need to stop leaving that heater on when I do videos in here. But yeah, before you have DMT, if you're looking into it, and consider this a little bit of your market research if you want, but research it, don't jump into it, and only do it if you want a spiritual awakening. You're gonna have an ego death if you break through. And sometimes, my first go, I didn't have to break through. Second go, I didn't break through. I stayed in the waiting room and I pulled out. But sometimes you don't have to break through. Break through. To break through means to smash through a wall, to break through something. But sometimes you don't break through, you're pulled through. Like, legitimately pulled through. They're just like, yo, come in. And that's what they did to me the first one. I'm like, yo, where's Scott? And then I'm like, what? Where's Scott? Why do we say that? Who's Scott? Who am I? And I'm on the other side in this spaces between spaces and inside and outside the multiverse, and that. It was all a bit surreal. It was terrifying, as well as being absolutely incredible. So yeah, don't only do or research DMT if you want a legitimate spiritual awakening, and you want to meet Archangel Gabriel, basically, because that's what it feels like. David Wilcock last video, it's 3.5 hours long, but would love to hear your view. Let me get that up, because I'm sick of people saying stuff to me, do this and that in a video, and then when I don't remember, and then I'm like, damn, what did he... Like, someone was in a live stream the other day saying, oh, will you take part in this thing? And I couldn't, because I was working, it was too late, but then I wanted to message him and tell him I'm sorry I can't make it, and I can't remember who it was, or what they even said join in. It was like midnight, one Tuesday night or something, and I was like, oh, and then I was thinking empathetic, thinking, oh, you better think I'm right, twat. And I was like, oh. The New York Times bestseller, the author of Sourcefield Investigations, Synchronicity is the Key. Is that the one? David Wilcock. Am I on the right track with that guy? Synchronicity is the key. The ascension, mysteries, and awakening in the dream. He's also a professional lecturer, filmmaker, and researcher of ancient civilizations, consciousness, science, and new paradigms of matter. And then I just got an emotional stiffer reading about that man. Not an actual one. Not quite there with him. Not saying it'll never happen. But I legitimately got a little emotional stiffy reading all that then. That's what I want to be reading. You know what I'm saying? April going to be interesting. Lee, are you into the astrology signs and that, and the phases of the moon and stuff? Into a little bit of the Wicca magic and stuff, pagan rituals. I'm interested in paganism. It's what my ancestors were, after all, the Anglo-Saxons, before the Romans came over. I need to do the DNA first, actually, and make sure I am Anglo-Saxon and not Roman, but I'm pretty sure you can tell by the colour of my hair and my beard that I'm not a Viking, and I ain't no Roman, I'm not looking Greek. I think I'm looking Anglo. You know what I'm saying? I can't even grow a beard, mate. So yeah, but we'll see the DNA, and then like I feel a little bit of a pagan connection since DMT and that. I've started thinking there's a possibility magic's real, you know, it's just been locked off for a bit. Incoming voice call, Chris, 1 sec. Right. Can you hear me again now? Chris rang. I answered the phone on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp stole me mic. But you've got me back now, haven't you? You got me back. None you biz. None you biz. You got me back. Thank you. Thank you. Nah, yeah, legitimately, Chris rang off WhatsApp. So, I can go and read WhatsApp messages, and I believe you still hear me, but we'll stop bouncing app now. We'll just keep on this. Everyone else can go away. What was I actually saying before he rang? April's going to be interesting. Your Celt, Lee Jenkins. Nice. Yeah, I want to do... I forgot what it's called. DNA stuff. Yes, Notorious. Yeah. Not had time to watch a premiere the other day. It's my bedtime, that, you know. It was on a little bit late for me. And I was working. I've done an interview when I come home. And then I legitimately come straight out here. And I nearly went live while eating my pizza, but I just ate the pizza first and then went live. So I'll check out your video soon. Notorious. Anyone watching, not seen Notorious's video from yesterday, go and check it out when this stream's finished. He makes some great content. Much worth watching. But yeah, I'm looking at David Wilcox. So what gave me the thingy there, like the synchronicity, the synchronicity key. I wanted like speak about something here now, right? So I just spoke about it in the interview. So imagine an absolute. You can call him God if you want. I choose to call it the absolute. If you imagine an absolute in the 10th dimension, the 11th dimension, whatever the highest dimension is, and he's there on his own with nothing but curiosity. Just curious. What wonder, I wonder. And pulls himself apart because he's sick of just wondering and being curious on his own. They would be your first angels. Gabriel, Michael, Lucifer, all them. You get your fallen angels and that. But then, like, when you have DMT and you feel the connected consciousness and you feel total awareness, you feel part of something like that. You feel like you are actually a part of the absolute. It's split itself and you're like, whoa. But if they're on another side, with nothing but curiosity and wonder, and to experience love, hate, all the rest of it, joy, sadness, we had to make a physical realm. Because people can't tell me this realm's not created. Now, I used to be an atheist, mate. Didn't believe in shit. I thought when we die, we're just switched off and that. That's fucking bullshit. Bullshit. You know, when you turn your PlayStation off, do your games cease to exist? Does GTA cease to exist when you turn your PlayStation off? No. Still exists. When you die, you still exist. Somewhere else, where you're actually from. Why we made this realm, I don't know. I like to think it was because we were curious and we wanted to come here to experience stuff we couldn't experience where we're actually from. Because Why do I believe that this realm is created? Again, I'll do it in a game context. For anyone who plays games, anyone who plays Grand Theft Auto or any open world game, the game consists in what's called a sandbox. Within the sandbox, which is the size of the world, where if you're flying a plane up to the ceiling, it's going to hit a ceiling and not going to go any further, and it's going to hit a wall if you go too far over the ocean, like the Truman Show did when he got to the end of the Truman Show sandbox. The Truman Show was actually on Earth. So Earth's has got its own little sandbox. When you're outside the atmosphere, the laws of the atmosphere no longer work. The laws of that sandbox no longer work. The laws within the Truman Show, there's laws within the game, and there's physics and laws within our universal sandbox. Now, are our laws limited to our light frame? Now, I don't know if anyone know the particle horizon and the light horizon, but you've got the cosmic microwave background, and in front of that you've got the particle horizon, which is as far as particles have gone that we can see. Any particle past that we can't see because space is expanding faster than the light can travel to get to us. So we're in our own little sandbox, and we're going to call the universe everything within our physical plane. It's been created, it's got its laws, it's got its physics, it has a creator. Now, I don't want to get into the conversation of who created the creator. That is like the circular conversation that's never going to have an answer. You're going to have it's just a consensus in it. I know most stuff comes to a consensus and not many things are actual fact. But you're never going to answer the question of who created the creator, so we need to leave that off the table. We just do for now. Not that I don't want to have that conversation, but I'm more inclined to just want to ask why the creator of this realm created this realm. And I have to believe it was for experience. It was for experience. Anyone else find the reported death figures for May numbers suspect? I find them very, very suspect. I question the severity of it. I really, really do question the severity of it. Back on track, though. Can you imagine? We've came here to experience this realm millennia ago, and we liked it that much. We've now been on a path to ascend to an immortal being. Whether it's a natural bionic being or a cybernetic being, I think we're ascending towards immortal beings. We're going to link ourselves up to computers and chips and nodes, and we're going to be a collective consciousness of physical beings in this realm, while we're a collective consciousness of energy beings in the other realm. And your consciousness, your active consciousness, and even maybe subconsciousness can travel between the two. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine Lucifer wrote the Bible and the mark of the beast talk is to prevent that. Bit of an out there theory. But yeah, regarding the comments, 100% I think a lot of the corona stuff is BS. Like just complete and utter BS. If we do ascend, there better not be any New World Order arsehole. Do you know what, the New World Order is a good thing, I think. Right? Try and find an analogy, or think of an analogy or something to explain this in a way that makes sense. If the mainstream media paints New World Order as bad, if it was truly bad, the hippies got painted as bad, and it was actually really fucking good. If the hippies had got away since Vietnam, if the hippies had got away, we wouldn't be living in this world now, I'll tell you that for free. We'd be living in a completely different world. if the hippies got their way. But what did the mainstream media say about the hippies? The mainstream media said about the hippies as, oh, the crazy, they're off their head, it's all a load of BS. They're bad. They're bad. And the same mainstream media who say they're bad also say that the New World Order's bad. But what if the New World Order was created by said hippies? Is that bad? A New World Order from enlightened, spiritually awakened people who are in touch with not only spirit, but the cosmos, the earth, Mother Gaia, whatever you want to call her. I honestly believe the planet's alive, me. I don't think you can have life on a planet that isn't alive itself. I think the planet's got its own consciousness, part of the collective consciousness. I think Mars is dying. I think we could actually save Mars, the planet, with terraforming if we brought it back to life. But yeah, it interests me now. Anything that the mainstream media says is a bad thing, or we don't want this, do we? We don't want that. Let's put a New World Order into perspective. You don't want the Russians in charge, do you? Most Americans don't even want Trump in charge. Most Americans don't even want America in charge. Most Britons don't even want a monarch anymore. I wouldn't surprise me if most of China didn't want to be communist anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's like, no, if we all don't want that person running the world on their own, then I think we're all telling ourselves that we want a New World Order, don't we? The thing is, people are scared of the Cold War New World Order that was put in people's head because Russia wanted power. America wanted power. China wanted to be the superpower. It's the beginning of the end in the 80s. Just the thing is, they had a New World Order that scared the shit out of everyone. So it was never going to come in. Now, we're a hell of a lot closer to a New World Order people are flaming asking for. The level playing field globalisation, they're asking for it. And everyone's like, I'm not asking for it. Well, Africans are, mate, because they want financial services that you've been taking for granted. Do you know what I mean? Is the New World Order really bad? I honestly don't know. I do feel like there's good people in the world that are making change, and they're making change for good. They really are. Just spoke about Stanley Kubrick's Space Odyssey being one of the first things I know of. Stanley Kubrick's Space Odyssey, 2001, Space Odyssey. You want the proper one. Come out in 1968. This for me is the start of people waking up. The start of good people in the background in an industry of Hollywood where we've got paedophiles and everything, people eating kids and all that. We've got good people within it trying to wake us up. James Cameron is woke. You don't make Avatar if you ain't woke. Now, if you've all not watched Avatar with the right perspective and the right blinkers on, then you need to rewatch it with a new perspective and a fresh perspective. One with a more real world analogy perspective. For instance, human goes to alien world, enters Avatar, finds out who he is, stays there. Consciousness comes to our physical realm, comes in this avatar, controls me. Yeah, that's the metaphor. The mycelium and the brain neurons in the soil, we have that fungi, we have the mycelium, we have the neuron network the doctor talks about. The guy that has a quip about what he's smoking, well, DMT teaches you if you want to smoke a bit of that. A hell of a lot in that film is related to spirituality and DMT. They've got Awa, the goddess of the planet, as is Gaia, I mentioned her a minute ago, the active consciousness of our planet. That film Avatar's actually even got a DMT scene deleted from it, a deleted scene that is a full-on DMT experience. And if you've ever had it and you watch the scene, you know it's a DMT experience scene. Steve Combs, love you too, mate. Mwah. Joe Public already begging for vaccines and tests, aren't they? You're not begging. You're begging for the vaccine if you've got it, or if you're scared, or if you're not too bothered. You're begging for the test to prove that you're immune, that you've had it, and it don't really matter anymore. It's a weird one. It's a part of the Great Awakening, man. It's got to be the QAnon stuff, the Mayan calendar. So if we put Mayan calendar, I can't type, me. I just cannot type. Don't think I'll ever be able to type. 2012, the Great Awakening into Google. So we've put Mayan calendar, 2012, the Great Awakening. And the first one's awaken.com from 2018, a Mayan calendar prophecy of 2012. Excuse me. Oh, I am zoomed in there. I can't have it like that. And I've not got my mouse on there. Damn. Oh, you got me glasses. I can't see. You got me readers. There's been a lot of speculation on the doomsday theory of 2012 that many say was prophesied by the Mayans and other ancient cultures. The cycle of the Mayan calendar in the 2012 apocalypse. That page is way too small. I need to be able to zoom in. How can I zoom in without my mouse? Bastard, I can't. Beyond 2012, the new era dawns. Second search down. I think this is the one. It had quotes. I had quotes out of a book about going into a new age of light. And like the evil entities that have been in control of have been influencing the world for the last 5,000 years will be locked off, and a new age will emerge of a great awakening where beings of light will be able to influence the world instead of negative evil beings. It's Stanley Kubrick 2001, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Matrix. You want to talk about waking up in sandboxes? The Matrix was the sandbox the machines had made, and the people was asleep thinking he was living a real life. And that, again, remove the machines, have the battery pods where the humans are as a ball of energy in the 11th dimension or 10th dimension, and that ball of energy is pinging the consciousness to us here now in this physical realm, in the Matrix, in the sandbox with all its rules and its emotions and its trials and tribulations. It's crazy. Absolute madness. Anyone seen 2001 and the Black Cube? And then again, all good symbols, all symbols of peace and good and all that from religions, from the swastika, everything. And I'm not saying Hitler didn't tarnish the swastika. I'm not saying the mainstream media tarnished that symbol and it wasn't Hitler. Hitler fucking tarnished that symbol, let's have it right. It meant peace until then. What the mainstream media haven't done since Hitler is bring it back to what it really was and actually take back the symbol and not having everyone call it a Nazi sign. Can you imagine a little Hindu kid who's just got a brand new robe and he's got the Hindu swastika on his arm, and he's walking down the street and someone's like, you're a fucking Nazi. Hindu kids, what are you on about? Do you know what I mean? It's part of other people's culture. Just because one guy, they've tarnished the symbol. Mainstream media never do anything to push us in the right direction. But I'm telling you now, there's people within Hollywood pushing us in the right direction. Try to wake us up, or you wouldn't see films like Matrix out. You wouldn't see Stanley Kubrick's 2001 out in the 60s, 1968. You just wouldn't see it. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the way they treat Satanism in that, it borderline makes you think. Everyone likes to call him a devil, forgetting he's actually an angel. Guy's an angel, mate. I don't care what anyone says. He's an angel. So, as much as a Christian might love Michael, or Gabriel, or Azazel, or the rest of it, whatever they're called, they can go bad. Who says Michael ain't going as bad as Lucifer? And there's too many people who believe in the darkness without believing in the light. I hear too much talk about Satan and Lucifer and demons and ghosts, and not enough talk about the absolute and light entities and stuff like that. It's just, it's pressing at times. It's hard to deal with because everyone's just all about the negative and the demonic instead of actually like accepting the fact that if you've got evil, you have to have good. There's got to be good with the evil. It just has. There's no two ways about it. There's no two ways about it. I want to try and find this now. I want to get this up because I wanted to talk about it. Some guy. I found a similar deja vu theory as mine, and I need to. What is deja vu, mate? Oh, Michio Kaku. And what's deja vu? So listen to this. The Matrix deja vu. Nope. I thought you had Michio Kaku on your thumbnail. There we go.
Deja vu is a phenomenon that all of us have experienced. That eerie feeling when you walk into a room or enter a new situation and you say to yourself, I've been here before. I mean, everything here is familiar. It turns out that we can actually induce forms of deja vu in subjects, in experiments. So there is a theory that says that deja vu simply elicits fragments of memories that we have stored in our brain. Memories that can be elicited by moving into an environment that resembles something that we've already experienced. So we don't have to invoke parallel universes, we don't have to invoke the multiverse in order to explain most deja vu. However, it does raise the other question. Is it ever possible, on any scale, to perhaps flip between different universes? And the answer there is actually rather unclear. We physicists believe, for example, that there is really a multiverse that exists even inside our living room. We are waves, vibrating waves given by the Schrödinger wave function. And these waves vibrate and then split apart with time. Steve Weinberg, winner of the Nobel Prize, compares it to the following. Think of radio. If you're inside your living room listening to BBC radio, that radio is tuned to one frequency. But in your living room, there are all frequencies. Radio Cuba, Radio Moscow, the top 40 rock stations. All these radio frequencies are vibrating inside your living room, but your radio is only tuned to one frequency. Now, in other words, when two universes are in phase, they are coherent, and you can move back and forth. But as time starts to evolve, these two universes decouple. They start to vibrate at different frequencies. They can no longer interfere with each other. So why is it that your radio cannot listen to Radio Moscow? Why isn't it possible for your radio to listen to all frequencies? Because your radio is decoherent. It is no longer vibrating in unison with these other frequencies. And the same thing in quantum physics. We consist of atoms. Our atoms vibrate, but they no longer vibrate in unison with these other universes. We have decoupled from them. We have decohered from them. So in other words, deja vu is probably simply a fragment of our brain eliciting memories and fragments of previous situations. However, in quantum physics, there really are, in some sense, parallel universes surrounding us. The problem is we can't enter them because we have decohered from them. We're no longer vibrating in unison with them.
So he's accepting that deja vu is probably something in your mind, just blah, 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 but then accepts it could be parallel realities, alternate universes. Now, I've said that before about vibrating on different waves, and again, it's in the comics. So it's in the comics. So there's a Superman in comics. Oh, it's geeky for some people and they don't care about it, but it's enlightening and deep. So there's a Superman in the comics that ends up on a world he's not from. So the world's vibrating at a different frequency than he is. And his atoms need to resonate at a better level. And Swamp Thing, another character, actually helps him and changes his frequency slightly so it's more comfortable in that realm. You've got Barry Allen, who can vibrate through stuff, but if he goes to a different universe, the vibrations are at a different frequency, so he has to learn that frequency before he can vibrate through objects in that universe. And the theory of deja vu being two parallel realities that have pinged apart at the quantum level, two versions of your soul, two little pieces of your soul, two versions of yourself are traveling two linear paths that remain so close together, and the decisions they're making are so similar that down the line they end up in the same place at the same time again, and that's where you'll probably experience deja vu. That's what I believe deja vu actually is. It's madness, and it's deep talk. It is legitimately deep talk. It's one of the as deep as it gets. What's the soul? What humans? Why are we here? What we doing? Where's our anthill? So where's our anthill? Where's humans' where's our anthill? Ants legitimately make a hive, they make a nest. Bees make a beehive. Squirrels make a nest in the trees. Bird make a nest in the trees. Bear will find a cave or something. Every animal finds its cave. Lion has its pride. Where's our nest? What we building? What are we building towards? Legitimately, I'd love to know what the human race is actually striving to achieve, because we don't act the way most animals on the planet act. We just don't. We're striving for something, and we keep building towards something. Maybe we're manipulated towards it. I don't know. That's an interesting perspective. Maybe the control isn't just about power and energies and whatever else they take off us. Maybe it's about what the actual end game is. I don't know what we're building, but we're clearly not settling for the nest we've currently made. And I'm wondering when we will settle. Will it be in an immortal digital body, all linked via blockchains, via their own nodes, and find a way for the consciousness to bounce back and forth at will and never have to strip vessel again? Like altered carbon, but legitimately being able to bounce to the realms we're actually from. So clearly, if you believe the samsara cycle, when you die, you're going to go back to the other side. You're going to ascend or descend, depending on your karma. And in the end, you're going to, unless you achieve Buddhahood or true enlightenment and go back to the heavenly realms, you're going to come full circle again and you'll be put back on Earth in another human vessel. What if the end game's to make a vessel that you could just bounce back and forth from and it didn't have to die? What if that's the human's true end game? What if that's intelligent beings' true end game? Again, going back to the DMT stuff. So when you take DMT, an out-of-body experience during a meditation, that is crazy, because I've looked into Buddhists who choose when to die, go into a deep meditative state and never come back, but the chest and heart's warm for 4 days. The rest of the body goes blue and looks dead. But the chest and heart's warm for 4 days, and the last bit of action is the chest going cold. No doubt there might be a little bit of going on up here in the pineal gland and that, but out-of-body experience during meditation before was a ball of energy outside my body. It lasted 5 to 6 seconds until my thoughts kicked in, trying to figure out what this was. Google astral projection, Darcy B. Google astral projection. You can watch Lock and Key on Netflix, a pretty new show. It's got a bit of astral projection in it. Doctor Strange, a Marvel film, explains a bit of astral projection, and it even has a little bit of DMT experience mixed in, where it's open your third eye and she's blasting through the multiverse. But just before she's blasting through the multiverse, she takes him into his astral form on the astral plane. That's where ghosts would live. Not to scare you, shouldn't scare you. You basically, like I said before early on, I think magic's real. I think that a lot of people used to have more connections to magic, and I think since the Mayan calendar turnover and we've gone into a great awakening now, I think you're powered. Like, you might be a bit of a powered person, a bit of a spiritualist with a certain avenue to take. Got someone near me called Rosanna who was going through a little bit of the same stuff. She had pretty much the opposite of sleep paralysis. Instead of being pinned to the bed, she floated out of a bed and turned upside down, so she was down facing the bed and fell back on her bed. And she said she actually felt it, but she was also still in the bed, so she too astral projected. Again, it could be something to do with the awakening, but have a look. Let me have a little Google for you here. Stay on it, stay on, and we'll have a little look at this. Astral projection. I tell you one thing you won't get here: disbelief. You telling me it happened, I'm going to believe it happened. I'll take you as your word, and we'll have a ganders into it. It's deep talk, so it's for deep stuff. We're all just mixed up in a universal soup, and if you had a bowl full, you know it tastes great and it will fill your belly up. Hear to that, Steve. Hear to that. So we've gone to astral projection on Wikipedia here, and I need to zoom that screen out because that is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous how much that zoomed in. I need my mouse to change it though. The idea of astral travel is ancient and occurs in multiple cultures. The modern terminology of astral projection was coined and promoted by 19th century theosophists. Fucking hell, Scott. Theosophists. It's small letters, by the way. It's some kind called an astral body that is separate from the physical body and capable of travelling outside it throughout the universe. So that would be your active consciousness from this realm that remembers who you are in this realm, that knows who you are in this realm, basically given the powers of who you are in the other realm, being able to travel as energy, but only remembering who you are here. If it ever happens again, try and reach out to spirit in a positive manner, in a loving manner. Don't attract no negative. Try not to be scared, nothing like that. Because again, like if you have a DMT experience, your mindset can really affect it, negative to positive energy. So always go in with positive energy. Most people's going to be like, just had an hallucination. If anyone says to you, oh, it's just an hallucination, ask them to define the word hallucination. What's an hallucination? It's a generic term that's just to get away from the conversation. It really is. dislocating your shoulder during a dream, do you know what I mean? What did you do in the dream, Jimmy, to actually dislocate your shoulder? What actually happened in the dream? Or do you not remember? You just woke up with a dislocated shoulder? Wow. The separation of the spirit body from the secret of the golden flower, a Chinese handbook on alchemy and meditation. The bar hovering above the body. This image is based on an original found in the Book of the Dead. So the Book of the Dead, all the way back then, has got astral projection in it. I think astral projection is one of the first forms of spirituality. It would have been one of mixing that in with the Stone Age theory. I think the Stone Age theory led to us being an extremely advanced civilization who was really, really attuned to the cosmos, not just spiritual energy, but cosmic energies, to astrology, to the moon's energies and the sun's energies, and magnetism, electromagnetism, mixed with spirituality. And I think they ended up in a place where they could levitate rock and build pyramids, and it was a lot more intelligent than us. They just didn't have Xboxes and PlayStations, and they didn't really want to go to space. They didn't feel a need to go to space when there was astral projecting through multiple dimensions, and always going to want to go to the moon when you feel like you're flying through the multiverse. You don't really need to go. So I think like it was a different form of super intelligence that built the pyramids and that. They was then wiped out by the Great Flood, which is in all the old scriptures and writings. And then I believe that just during the floods, I believe Göbekli Tepe was built and buried to save some of the knowledge. So I believe the more they dig up Göbekli Tepe, the more they're going to find out about what actually happened, and what they actually knew. Really, really do. I was laying my back in the dreams. See, most people laugh at that kind of stuff, don't they? That, but you're actually in a dream. He was beamed up to a ship, pushing your arms, and then you woke up and boom, your arms out your socket. That's absolute madness. Absolute madness. Good times up. Astral projection really, really is one of the oldest forms, and it's good to look in. So we've got some more popular culture where you're going to get astral projection and that. I had a dream last night that everyone was dancing in the street. David Bowie and Jagger song from Top of the Pops, 1988-ish. Nice, Stephen. Dancing in the street. Ring-a-ding Girl, fictional treatment of astral projection in popular media. The Twilight Zone, in which a fading actress is able to project her consciousness from her body by means of magic and rescue the inhabitants of her hometown and the impending natural disaster. Insidious. I love the Insidious. Do you know what? I'm not a fan of horror anymore, but I love Insidious for the interdimensional astral projection stuff. He's legitimately astrally projecting himself through alternate dimensions. So yeah, there's a boy in Dalton whose astral body gets caught in a demonic world known as the Fervor. His father, from whom he acquired these abilities, must find him and bring him back in a living world. You see, a film where he goes to heaven, and as I scream, ain't that good, is it? Astral projects to heaven. You've just got to go evil because it makes it a better film. Excuse me. You got the Three Investigators children's mystery series. It features a character that performs astral projection. You got Ahat, episode 164, popular TV horror show. The Powers of Matthew Starr from a 82-83 series. It was in Charmed. So they are obviously in the witches ones. It was in Dark Shadows, a gothic soap opera. The movie Doctor Strange, the main character, teacher, mentioned that. The Netflix series Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, mentioned that before. Watch that. Fringe, great show. Great show. The Telugu movie Taxiwala has got it in. Clanned. And then Netflix's Stranger Things. But like I say, it's also in Lock and Key and other stuff. Astral projection, I do believe, is a pagan and Wiccan shamanic skill. Like a proper spiritualist skill that's legitimate magic powers. Where like if we wanted to have it, let's have it right, you'd have been burnt as a witch in the 1600s for talking about that in the town hall. Let me tell you, you know what I mean. You start saying that your body left, your consciousness left your body in your sleep last night, and you travelled about. You're going on the stake a couple of 100 years ago. Whereas now, you got people like me actually thinking you might be some sort of spiritualist magician. You know, it's mad. It's mad. The Great Awakening's beyond us. It's only a matter of time before more people wake up to not only little... Because you've got like the Reiki healers and that, aren't you? And chi energy, right? You know, the people who say there's no human spirit, there's no soul, there's no God. This place wasn't created, it just turned off when you die and all that. They're going to have to explain a few things to me. How they can trust their own emotions if what's in your head's just a chemical balance. Explain what chi is, chi energy and chakra energies, because that's clearly real. And the people who are meditating for chakra energy and opening the third eye without any DMT, any mushrooms or anything, that's like some next level cosmic energy, that. And it's not normal. It's not normal to be able to play with that kind of energy. People can fight all they want. They put spears in the neck, so you just push your neck a little bit there, and you'd be like, they put a spear in, and granted, they wedge it in on a little bits of metal, and they put the metal on the little bits of bones they've got there and that. But the fact of the matter is, they're whacking themselves with wood, it's shattering. They're putting spears on themselves, and they're clearly getting this energy from within the body, and they're moving it to another part of the body to either strengthen it or heal it. And you hear all these mythical stories of pagan healers where they did rituals, or shamanic healers where they did a ritual and they transferred energy. Again, like the Avatar film where they try and transfer grace to a body, and it's the shamanic ritual. And the shaman's there, the woman in Avatar is an actual shaman in Avatar doing the ritual, fails with grace but works on Jake. It's all there in sci-fi. It's all there in sci-fi. Jimmy used to lucid dream all the time as a kid. I'd also sleepwalk. My dad was a night owl. I'd be up watching TV. Used to catch me trying to walk out the house. I was a bad sleepwalker, me. When I was young, must admit. Never had that paralysis or like an astral projection where my body's still been there though. That's crazy stuff. That crazy stuff. You've got to chase it in sci-fi, basically. It's all there, and it's all in its own. It's all presented in its own little way, and just a little tweak of perspective. It makes it an analogy for a real world thing, like the mycelial network in Avatar to the mycelial network. So. Mycelial, a fungal network in Avatar that's basically a brain. We've got that, and plants talk to each other. They talk to trees, and it's all to sustain the mycelium. The leading mycelium scientist on Earth is Paul Stamets, and in Star Trek they go one further than Avatar in Star Trek Discovery, where they say it's not just mycelium on the planets. There's actually a mycelial network going through the universe, and it's the thread that weaves life through the cosmos. And the leading scientist on Star Trek is called Paul Stamets. The same name as the guy who's the leading scientist in the real world. It's all there in sci-fi, rubbed in your face, even using the guy's real name who's doing the research. But most people it just goes over the red. it legitimately just goes over the head. You can project, it's real, start with your own world. Nice, Stephen. CP, it needs practicing, researching, practice. You can build yourself an altar. It doesn't. I keep saying pagan and Wiccan. It doesn't have to be pagan and Wiccan. You get shamanic altar and get relics and stuff. And it could just be simple little chains like that you've had a little meditation session with, and you've had a little prayer with them, and you've blessed them. And you've got a couple of little necklaces and a couple of ornaments. It could be a burning Buddha. So if you have a Buddha there, and you have cones. So we put a cone, say like a lavender cone from there, on the back of the Buddha, and then burn it, and the smoke comes out the mouth and fills the hand up. And then you've got the Buddhist seeking guidance, seeking positive energies and that. Any little thing like that you can put a little personal connection on and have it as your altar, and then start meditating and actually trying to actively activate any astral abilities you might have. Yeah, get on Google and get researching it. It's a conversation I'd love to have again. I'd actually even love to have one of you on. Stephen, you fancy having like a little Zoom chat one night, just me and you, and actually have a bit of back and forth talking about it? Hit me up, mate, and we'll get on it. We will get on it, mate. More than interested in having two-way conversations about this stuff. I'm just trying to find a good forum. The Astral Pulse Index. theastralpulse.com/forums. Welcome to Outer Body Experiences. Welcome to Astral Projection Experiences. Welcome to Astral Consciousness. Welcome Astral Pulse Island. Permanent Astral Topics. Astral Chat, members introduction, news and media. Welcome to 2012 and Welcome to 2012 and the transition of the ages. Discussions about everything related to the predicted 2012 and the transition of the ages, including the Mayan calendar, earth changes, and general associated events and phenomena such as crop cycles and other empirical evidence of 2012 relating factors, including out-of-body experiences, astral experiences, and dreams, as we move closer to this exact time. Exciton. Can't say some fucking words, mate. Welcome to quantum physics. See, I love that. Welcome to metaphysics. Energy, body, and the chakras. Physics. Oh my days, what a site I just found here. Magic. Welcome to magic. See, most people are like, fucking magic. Most people just the closed-minded stuff and aren't going to open their mind to this kind of stuff. But seriously, on Google Astral Projection Forum, you'll get astralpulse.com. This forum looks legit. Like proper legit. Mission, seeking the peacemakers. Starseeds and ETs, UFOs, ET dreams, advanced civilizations, crop cycles deciphered, a forum poses mission. It's up to world's lost grip of reality, the awakening, a new age, 2012, veil questions, I saw the golden light, what's happening, generation 1 activation. Let's create a new era together, old gods are returning. And I feel lost, why is it happening to me? 2012 and the rule of the Enki. Enki? Oh! Damn! Ain't that the original god? Like the Sumerian god? Enki. Oh, I'm loving that. I'm going to have a look at that. Not in a bit. Tomorrow I'm going to go in a minute and wind down. But I'll be having a look at that tomorrow. Damn right we will. Astralpulse.com forum. Loads on there, from metaphysics to quantum physics to astral projection. 2012, the Great Awakening. Excuse me, get on that and have a look. Some magic on it, a lot. Healing. Probably have Reiki healing. Holistic, homeopathic, herbal fluids, electromagnetic fluids, energies, elements, spiritual healing. Yeah, I think people, if you're believing in this spiritual awakening and you're believing in the 2012 calendar being a time of light and beings of good and angels and entities of love and good contacting us, they might be activating some spiritual powers in you. You never know. This is deep talk, guys. We're taking everything seriously. We're willing to look at a lot of it. You tell me you think magic's real. We'll have a look at this forum about magic. Did we used to live like Elder Scrolls? Are we going back to that? Are we heading back to magic where people can bend the elements like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Read a book called Parallel Worlds by Michio Kaku, and it talks about a God particle being a little piece of string. Interesting. And then all that string vibrated would kick off the null particles in the universe. Hey, that's what it is, man. Like notes. So that's like all little quantum realms. It's where they come from. Boom, 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 boom. Stephen, I might be gone in 10, mate, but if I am, I'll be back on in the next few days with more deep talk, but by all means, DM me, and we'll have a two-way conversation about astral projecting and that. 100%. Because yeah, I'm gonna wind down now and get sorted, have a little chill for a bit before I go to bed, because I tend to have early nights these days. I need to start staying up a little bit later. It would help me do more videos, no doubt. But hey, I'm probably gonna just wrap another dube, because I always say I'm going on the other videos and I end up on for another 10 minutes and that. But we'll see what happens. I might see you back in a minute. If I don't, I'll see you on the next one. You're an old what? An aged bottle of whiskey. Vintage, mate. No such thing as old, it's just aged. Like wine. I'm really impressed with this Astral Pulse website. I'm going to go into the physics. The fabric of the cosmos. If there's any videos on it, actually. I must admit, when Rose got onto me the other day saying that, like, she's done astral projection and that, I got a little interested in it then. And it did make me think about the Mayan awakening and that. There's a video here on paranormal.love2know. It's 8 hours long. And I think it's like a guided meditation. Where's this? Where's the video gone? There. It's on YouTube, that. Why is it not giving me on YouTube? It's embedded, mate.
It's like playing by Braille.
Advert. Yeah, that's like the chakra. So if you videos like that, you get them for like different tones and frequencies to like help you open your chakras and that. There's one for lucid dreaming, sleep track, 8-hour sleep cycle. So maybe that might help you get in some sort of translucent state or lucid state. Darcy, message on Twitter if you want to chat. If you want to come on talking about it, 100%. Oh, I'd love it if you was willing to come on. You don't need to be on camera. I know some people are a little funny about having an interview and conversation on camera. I won't put. It doesn't have to be a visual on the internet when it goes up. It can just be a generic picture. It really can. Yeah, I would love to have a conversation about that, Stephen or Darcy or anyone else. Feel free to message about a conversation, any deep talk. Don't care what it's about. Aliens, interdimensional beings, ghosts, astral projection, anything. I will always be putting a cheeky little positive spin on it. I don't care what or who it's about, and I will not shun it. Won't not believe you. Won't judge it. Won't take the mick out of it or anything. We'll have a seriously deep conversation about any topic you want. It's what this is for. It's deep talk, baby. A fast, Stephen. They're basically an intermittent fast. Pulse, as in your pulse. Astral pulse. Sorry, it's me accent in it. I can't talk shit. That one there. Astral pulse, if you can see that. But ASTRALPULSE.com. But yeah, I don't really fast, not eat, like, nah, I've intermittent fasted at time where I've been like probably 16-20 hours without eating, and then eat a big meal, don't eat again for 16-20 hours. But I've never really done proper fasting, no. Why? What will it have some effect on me that I'm not getting without it? Clean my pineal gland or something. Because I'd actually be a little bit interested in it if it was going to. Because what you do for the pineal gland washing, is it alkaline diet and no fluoride? Water. So you'd live on nothing but water. And can I have like cappuccino and coke or nothing but water for 3 days? And then I get a bit of a rush. Is that what you're saying? The pineal gland is your third eye. The third eye, the eye that the Egyptians used to draw on everything. And what they say is what releases DMT when you die, and when rats die, they've proved it gets released in a pineal in rats. They've actually proved it, and they assume it would be the same in humans, but it's not yet been proven, as far as I'm aware, to happen in humans. But I'm pretty sure most of the shit they test rats for when it's to do with humans, if it happens on rats, it happens on us. Otherwise, I'd probably be testing mice or pigs or something. So, the pineal gland, if we take what Michio Kaku was saying, of consciousness being a radio signal in the sandbox and everyone's consciousness coming to their version, and even if you had multiple souls in multiple realities, you'd have a certain signal going to a certain pineal gland on birth, and then on death it ends and stops coming, so to speak, for the time being, until a new vessel, you go back round a cycle then, like I'm saying. Again, just my beliefs, not even my beliefs, just one of my theories, probably my strongest theory though, like closest to my beliefs, like my belief system's closest to there being realms after death. Like, what did that guy say? ego death. Ego death is all death is. So it's the death of fucking hell. Stages of ego death. Stages of ego death. 7 stages of obliterating the self. The obliteration of the self. That's the one. The obliteration of the self. Loner wolf. The obliteration of the self and the experience of enlightenment. We go down to the bottom for the 7 stages of ego death to one of the quotes. And it says, death is a stripping away of all that is not you. The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. That's a very interesting sentence and statement. When you've either had a DMT experience or an out-of-body experience, anything like that, you start thinking, oh, flipping heck, well, I've actually felt a little bit of ego death and I felt like I died, and I do now believe that there is no death. You go to another realm. That's like too much food, Jimmy. No, basically your gland stops when you stop. So your brain basically, when a person's dying, this vessel's shutting down. At the point you stop breathing, right, you'll have a period. When you do DMT, you pull back like that, and it's like, boom, and your consciousness is shot up, and it's pulled up to like the next level, like the waiting room, boom, and it's pulled up to here, and then you're there with other entities and other presence, like you can feel the presence and the entities, and I'm serious, man, it's like Angel Gabriel's in your face. You're like, no, you shit in your pants, but then you feel love and connectivity and awareness and the collective consciousness. But basically, if we put that into a perspective of death and a comparison to death, and we imagine the same thing happening, we then get into what's being dubbed, and you can search this online as well, give it a cheeky little Google, go and watch any content on it and that, and we'll pick it back up in a couple of weeks or something, or a few days. End of life phenomena. Not near-death experience. Not near-death experience. Near-death experience is my heart almost stopped. You're in a coma, you get run over, you're proper badly banged up, and something goes on in your head, but your heart was still beating. The vessel didn't die. It was a near-death experience. End-of-life phenomena is dealing with people who are going to die, know they're about to die, or have just come back from the heart stopping and have actually been like, yo, I've just been somewhere else, mate, and I've come back here. What I'm getting at off your comment, when your heart stops and your brain is about to stop, your pineal gland will fire up, and you're then in this waiting room while they're going to be trying to revive you. And at the point then, you're either going to get brought back, like a DMT trip sends you back. So if that vessel is brought back to life, it's like the radio's turned back on, the signal's pulled back to it, and then you're in the hospital like, yo, I've just been somewhere else, but I've just been sat with me gran, and Boo Boo, we need to get Boo Boo on for the conversation. I don't know whether it was a mum or a gran who Boo Boo sat with. That's just reminded me saying that. I probably said it because I know she did it. But end of life phenomena. So yeah, the pineal gland seems to have massive saying in when and how your signal's received. Crazy. Some people just brush it off. That's not fucking real. Just shut off when we die. And if it's their right to believe that, but there's more to it, man. you believe in that kind of thing, had experiences with spirits, never done DMT, but of other things. So, other things, Jimmy, if you don't mind me asking, mate, would any of them be LSD or psilocybin by any chance? Magic mushrooms? Meditation, Stephen, is definitely the best way. 100% I'm going to agree with that right here, right now. But I will say, for anyone who struggles to meditate and can't find a way to have a connection to spirit and a deeper, and even just a little spiritual awakening or a deeper connection to the earth, research DMT, but do not go into it like it's a hippie party drug and we're all gonna get wasted, man. You know, don't go into it like that. Go into it where it's spiritual. You got the chakras on the wall. You got to research your energies, what they're all about. Get your Buddha. Doesn't have to be a god. It can just be a past being who you can seek guidance from. Don't ask him to control. Do this for me. Do that for me. Give me guidance so I can do it and form a connection. Start trying to meditate, because I would advise you to meditate before doing DMT. It's just I could not induce the experience I had on DMT without it. Hopefully in the future, I really do hope I can. I'm planning on one day going to a Buddhist temple for a few weeks, to be honest, and I'll have a couple of meditation sessions with some proper peeps, and see how that pans out and plays out. I've also never done psilocybin mushrooms or LSD or anything else. It wasn't really a hard drug take. I've only ever really done cannabis. It's just that once I heard of DMT and I was actually doing it for a spiritual journey, it didn't matter what class the drug was. I didn't see it as a drug. I saw it as a natural spiritual molecule that was going to change my mindset and perspective, and it did. I won't even eat lamb anymore because I won't eat another animal's baby now. And that's what DMT did that to me, nothing else. Darcy's been in a coma, I don't remember what happened, but I had a ton of crazy dreams, remember them all. It took a week after to woke me up to realise what was going on. That is crazy, Darcy. Really, really would love to have a podcast chat with you, Darcy. And please, if you don't mind, get in the Twitter DMs. And then we'll get it arranged. Doesn't have to be live. We can do pre-recorded and all that. And like I say, you don't even have to come on camera. I'm just really interested in talking about someone who's been in a coma, potentially having astral projection abilities. Yeah. Like your abilities are real, in my opinion. You ain't gonna get no judgment or jokes around there. Might be a few jokes, but there'll be good jokes. But yeah, I won't take the mick. I fully believe that you're telling the truth and that you have actually got a fundamental ability. It's just about unlocking it and learning to control it and not being scared of it. Honestly, I truly believe that. Really, really do. Bacon butty smells a bit nasty in the morning these days. You know what, Stephen? I can't eat any meat that's not well done, me. Steak lovers, or your rares and your mediums, you would hate how I have a steak. I like well done, dry charred meat. I just do. I'm not a massive fan of chicken. I can't eat lamb anymore. Never really ate veal or any other baby. You only really ate lamb. Lamb is the only real baby I ate. I'm not going to say I don't kill a spider, but if I do, it's by accident generally. Won't kill as many flies as I used to. That's generally by accident. I just try and flap them away from me now. Just basically really trying to respect all life, like the Buddhists do, really. I leaned a lot on Buddhism, I really, really did, because I wanted a belief system where it didn't have a singular God who was apparently a being of love and forgiveness, but had also created a realm where his children were going to burn for eternity if they'd been naughty. That's not my kind of parent. My kind of parent does time out. Yeah, you've been naughty, you go for time out. You don't go in the basement to burn for eternity. Nah. So I can't play with beliefs like that. And again, People are entitled to their own thing. I'm not saying Christianity is wrong. I'm not saying any religion's right or wrong. I'm just saying that the belief system that fit my beliefs the best at this moment in time is Buddhism and shamanism mixed as my own little crazy thing I've got in my own head. It's not Buddhism. I mean, it's not shamanism. I mean, if I put the right gown on, I'd look flaming Buddhist at the moment. But that's a lack of attachment. That's me letting my ego go. So the longer my hair gets, the less ego I've got. I don't care what I look like anymore. I don't care what my hair's like. I used to be bothered what my hair looked like. I used to go for haircuts every other week. So my hair looked good. I haven't had an haircut for nearly, 2 years, 2 months now. 26 months since I've had an haircut. My hair looks good. Didn't need to get my hair cut for it to look good. I just needed to get comfortable with not caring what my hair looked like, knowing it was always good. I might shave it off one day. I might, like a Zen Buddhist would and that, innit? Like the proper Buddhist for no attachment. I've kind of gone the other way. So they shave it off for no attachment, but then I'm thinking, but you're shaving it every day. Every other day you're shaving your head. That's like too much. You're putting too much into your appearance. The monks are actually in shaving off an attachment to hair. They're actually being vain. They're actually like inadvertently in my head. Again, nothing against the monks. They believe it. It works for them. But for me, their way of doing it, it makes more sense to have your hair as long as it will possibly grow and just never cut it. And honestly, no scissors have touched this hair. My hair's long now, guys. Like, I'm not even joking. It's down here now. Like, it was short when I started this channel. When I started Love for Crypto, just over 2 years ago. It's a commitment to shave. I'm glad I've only got facial pubes, mate. Seriously, I only need to give me chin a number 1 every 2 weeks or something, me. I've got pretty lucky in that respect. Like, not that I wouldn't enjoy a full beard. That's another thing I've started doing as well. Buddhism, wanting leads to suffering. It does, man. If you want this and you want that and then you don't get it, you suffer a little bit regardless. If you start, and it's hard, it's easier said than done. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I've figured it all out. I still say I want this and I want that and I need this and I need that. But you've got to get in a mindset. And again, it's just a form of perspective. They're both kind of the same. Want it, need it, would like it. And needs food. Did you need food? Well, eventually, yeah. Would you like food right now? Well, yeah. Do you want food right now? Oh, excuse me. Now, wanting food, you sit there like, I want food, want some food. The longer you're sitting there, will want some food. The longer you don't get food, the more you'll suffer. If you sit there like, it'd be nice to get a bit of scran in the next few hours. You've already just give yourself a few hours before you need to say anything else. So I mean, it's all about terminology, perspective, and mindset, like your frame of mind. Lazy long-haired hippie, I am, mate. I am. Not just getting more zen. I won't even say hippie. I don't know, because I can't say Buddhist, because I'm not a Buddhist. I've got labelled clothes on and that. So I have got like an attachment to comfy clothes and stuff, and not exactly walking around in Buddhist robes. And I wouldn't exactly say I'm a shaman just because I've bought a couple of necklaces and I've had DMT twice. But yeah, I'm on a path, and I'm on a journey, and I'm changing, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the person I'm becoming. Do you know what, mate? I actually don't eat that much. Probably have more sugar than anything else. Wow, I've been on 1 hour 25 on this. Yeah, that's a nice. See what I mean by I'm going in a minute. Took about 20 minutes to wrap a doob. But yeah, I'm actually going now. It's 9 bells in it. I'm going to wind it down to 5 minutes, last 5 minutes. Stephen, appreciate you being here. I think it's only been a few of years all night, hasn't it? But do you know what? Appreciate it, guys. Jimmy, Darcy, Stephen, really appreciate it if you come on the channel at some point and we have an actual conversation and it's not just me replying to your comments, considering you're the first people that have come in on a live stream and you're in with me, supporting me, mate. So what I get yous on. Also, if there's anything you'd like to do, passionate about, you want to set up your own channel and you want me to come on your channel and talk about what you're passionate about, I'm a generalist, me. I'm into all sorts. I've been making a wizard staff this weekend out of a piece of cherry tree. I love bushcraft, love camping, fishing, shooting the air rifle at targets, all sorts. Gaming on Elder Scrolls, talking about the multiverse and spirituality. So yeah, we'll get on it. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Hey, we're all learning, Stephen. We're all learning, pal. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for watching. Won't be the last one. The next deep talk, though, probably looking at Sunday morning. If not Sunday, it will be next Tuesday night for another Love for Live deep talk. Oscar's myself, Pete, mate, Stephen. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours, guys. Get healthy, get happy, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, peace.